Hello everyone and welcome to our weekly World of Darkness news show. Today, very much Hunter with a little hint of werewolf and more information about not only the inner things in the Hunter book, but also about the release of the PDF, which is coming very, very soon. We're also going to talk a little bit about Pride celebrations with World of Darkness, as well as do the Vamily Spotlight as usual, getting through all of the super cool community content which you're dropping every week, and there's so much of it that we can't cover everything, but we hope to cover a lot together with Hadi, who's going to join me later. So let's start with Hunter news, shall we? So first of all, Hunter Reckoning is getting a new dev blog and has gotten a new preview. If you're watching us on YouTube, the dev blog is already up. If you're watching us on Twitch, the dev blog will be up right after the show at 6 p.m. It's going to go live on worldofdarkness.com as well as on Renegade site. This dev blog is going to talk particularly about Hunter creeds, which we're going to also explain here on the show. We're going to have a little passage right after this little introduction in which I'm going to go through all of the creeds which are available in Hunter the Reckoning book, and you'll be able to see them. Then, of course, we're also having the Moodboards, which we're going to share all together with the Hunter the Reckoning dev blog to explain you creeds a little bit better, just so you can actually read about the creed, listen about the creed here on the show, and then later on go to Pinterest and see the general mood of a particular creed. Creed are for Hunter the Reckoning a little bit like tribes, and clans are for werewolf and vampire, but in a little bit of a different sense, which I'm going to explain. There's more though. If you are looking forward to see an actual play of Hunter the Reckoning, I recommended the Day Shift from Renegade. They are on episode 3 right now. You can watch it on their Twitch channel as well as on their YouTube channel. And most importantly, the PDF date is now, or is going to be from now on public, because I'm going to tell you right now that the PDF is going to be available to you next week on Wednesday. Wednesday 8th of June, that's when the PDF is dropping, and I really hope you will enjoy it. Next week we'll also consolidate all of the previews from Hunter the Reckoning and publish them on our website. As for now, they are available on Renegade Store, and yesterday, a brand new preview dropped, which may be very interesting for those of you who are waiting for Werewolf the Apocalypse. This particular preview of Hunter book is specifically about werewolves. So you can read about werewolf antagonists, super interesting and very nicely written characters that are going to, you will be able to throw at your hunters in your chronicles right now in the preview, which you can download for free on Renegade. How you do it? You go to Renegade site, you look for Hunter preview, you basically quickly check out. It's free, so you don't have to pay anything, you just have to have an account. And after you check out, you will receive a download link and you will be able to download all of the previews, including the newest preview about werewolves. All the previews are going to be available next week on World of Darkness site as well. So if you will go next week to worldofdarkness.com/account, you will be able to download them from the account section as well. So I really recommend to read more about these werewolves, about their forms. Of course, we are not talking in detail about who exactly these werewolves are and more details about their backgrounds, because they are seen from the perspective of the hunters. But as you probably know, this Hunter book was made alongside Werewolf the Apocalypse development, so it's definitely something that we're looking forward to maybe see the versions of these characters as you're going to play Werewolf in the future. We are working on Werewolf currently, so we're going to drop more Werewolf stuff afterwards. Next week, we're going to celebrate the release of PDF of Hunter the Reckoning, and I really hope that you will let us know what you think. We do have a Discord channel for that on discord.gg/World of Darkness. There is a Hunter the Reckoning channel specifically for you to tell us what you think about the current previews and the PDF as it drops. So I really hope that you will share some of your views, some of your, hey, this is different than previous editions. Wow, I've never played different editions. What is this? We want to hear it all, and I'm looking forward to talk to you about this. All right, so without further ado, let's talk a little bit more about the creeds, shall we? Hunter the Reckoning has creeds. Just like Vampire the Masquerade has clans and Werewolf the Apocalypse has tribes, in Hunter, creeds are something that differentiates hunters from each other. But what exactly are they? Well, we're going to go through all of the 5 creeds which are in the book, and please keep in mind that as much as a vampire would call themselves Ventru, or werewolf could call themselves Glasswalker, Hunter wouldn't really call themselves with the name of their creed. They are aware of what creed they are. I mean, they are not calling it creed exactly, but it's basically a methodology in which they approach the hunt. And there's a lot of things that goes into them. I think it's going to be a little bit easier to grasp once I'm going to explain you each creed separately, but they are not the part of the vocabulary of hunters, just like the clans and tribes are a part of the vocabulary among the werewolves and vampires. Here it's a little bit for making it easier for the player to understand what are the differences in the approaches for the hunt and how your characters are approaching the hunt. So let's see a list of the creeds and see how exactly they're different from each other and what kind of characters you can make with them. Let's see a little slideshow. So the very first creed, you haven't seen this one just yet. There was a preview beforehand which did have one of the creeds, but this is the entrepreneurial creed, which determines the hunters that approach the hunt with a little bit of an interesting methodology. Instead of guns, instead of their deep knowledge about the subject of unnatural, instead of employing their faith, they employ their business, their craft, the new inventions, and trying to basically approach it in a more of a strategic perspective. So they could be business owners, they could be influencers, they could be singular people that have their own workshop and they tinker some cool things in this workshop which could potentially be useful in the future to fight with the monsters. They approach this from this a little bit unusual side. You do not see many of the monster hunters in the media that show this side. They could be, for example, owners of a pub or a club that have basically there are various people visiting the club, and among this audience you do see some monsters, you do see something unnatural, something weird, and then you drive awakens and suddenly, hey, you are using your assets, you're using your contacts, you're using your money or your craft in order to fight with the devil or with the monster, or however you want to call it. So the entrepreneurial creed might be a descriptor of, for example, someone who is super much into drones. You are making the drones that are specifically aimed to track, spy, and maybe even attack the monsters. You are in the back lines. You are not exactly the kind of a person that would go first forward and try to punch the monster in the face, but you would try to do a little bit more of a tinkering in the background or some deals in the background in order to get what you want, which is ultimately to eliminate the monster from your way. Your drives can be anything from envy, maybe you are just very greedy, maybe you want to make money out of the monster, or maybe it is actually something as, for example, an oath, or maybe there's some deeper meaning to this. It's not only about being jealous of the monster or being greedy. I do think that entrepreneurial creed will be very interesting to those of you who played Ventru, actually, because you might actually play this business character that is employing their contacts in order to use them during the hunt. But it can be interpreted in many different ways. Even if you are like a small-time thinker, someone that tries to approach the hunt in creative ways of creating some kind of tools in order to fight the monsters, that could be something that is going to be good for you as well. So yes, drone play, absolutely. I'm just checking the chat very quickly. That is giving me little ideas. Robotics, yes, definitely that works here as well. And there's going to be a lot of ways in in which you can use this particular trait. You don't have to be successful and rich in order, your character it doesn't have to be successful and rich in order to be entrepreneurial. You can basically employ, even being like a small-time influencer and having contacts online and being very much embedded into the online culture. Suddenly you find that there is something more out there, and you try to give visibility to that by blogging or by streaming, by making YouTube videos. That is also the entrepreneurial approach, which I think would be pretty interesting. So just a very quick view on the first one. You can check out the mood board on pinterest.com/world_of_darkness. And let's check out the next one. Faithful. That's something that is a little bit more quickly coming to mind when thinking about hunters, especially for those of you who played Vampire the Masquerade and remember those goddamn true faith bearers. So faithful doesn't have to, of course, have true faith or anything similar. You don't have to have any supernatural edges in order to be a faithful hunter, but faithful hunters approach the hunt with their faith. They do believe that there is something more out there. Maybe there's some supernatural power above them, within them. Depending how you want to interpret, this could be religious, this could be tied to any of the existing religions, but it can be also very personal. It can be your personal faith, which is not really tied to any organization or any religion shared by many people. Maybe you believe in your own powers. Just like true faith is very universal in Vampire, it can be true faith in literally anything. Faithful creed in Hunter the Reckoning is similar. It can be faith in anything, but it's very much tied with a big hatred towards evil or big hatred towards whatever you interpret monsters to be. You want to really eliminate this vampire or this ghost or however else you're going to approach the other creature in this world, because you believe that their existence is either against the balance or against the good in this world, or is trying to transgress others. Well, whatever you believe in, faithful is the creed that is about the faithful hunters that employ their faith in order to fight the monsters. So yeah, faithful would be the second one. And now the third one you've heard about already, inquisitive. Inquisitive determines the hunters who approach the hunt with their knowledge, with their curiosity. They are always onto getting new information. They want to know more. The curiosity is actually one of the drives in Hunter the Reckoning. So your drive might be to simply know more. You want to get to know more about the monsters. You want to get to know more about supernatural. You might be fascinated with it, even in a very unhealthy way, because drive is not always healthy. I would actually assume that very, very often drive can grow to very unhealthy amounts in hunters. So inquisitive hunters are either the bookworms that just read a lot, just go to the library and read everything about anything concerning the monsters, something that will maybe help them in the hunt. Maybe they constantly are online trying to search for more information, or maybe they are the hunters which are the first to go into the dark cave, first to go to this abandoned house, first to enter the room in which the monster may be, because they want to know more. If you played Tremere, I feel like a lot of people are going to have a little synergy in here. Those that strive for perfection, strive for more knowledge, strive to get all the wisdom possible out there in this world are the inquisitive hunters. So that is the creed for you. And now the next one will be martial, which can be interpreted in a pretty straightforward way, because martial hunters approach the hunt in the physical fashion. So whatever kind of a physical fashion this may be, maybe you are into martial arts, maybe you have a big collection of weapons, maybe you are very good at daggers or swords, or you are super athletic. Martial is the one-on-one way where you think you can approach the hunt with your own bare hands or armed with whatever kind of an arsenal you have. So martial hunters are super important for the groups of hunters, of course, because they very often very much help with the hunt, but very often they cannot also do it alone. They need the group of other hunters in order to help them. So martial hunters approach the hunt in this physical way. It's not, of course, they might strategize and plan on how to approach the monster in the best way, but they are definitely going to aim for that kill in the end, or for the hurting the monster. It's kind of funny as when we look for the nicknames for different creeds, how they call themselves, because again, it's important. A hunter would never call themselves Marshal. I'm Marshal. They wouldn't say that. They wouldn't say I'm inquisitive, unless, and not meaning the creed, but just in general, I am very much of an inquisitive person, right? So in order to, differentiate themselves, they might use different nicknames. Like, for example, entrepreneurial hunters may say that they are the mavens, or they are the hustlers, right? So that's how they can talk about themselves. Martial ones and faithful ones, they both kind of often use the same name, calling themselves avengers. They may want to avenge someone. Maybe it's personal, maybe you weren't really that much into physical fighting, into self-defense or anything like that, but suddenly someone in your family got kidnapped or taken by monsters, or maybe killed by monsters, and then suddenly you gotta, sign up for some martial classes because you know that there's something out there and you need to fight it using whatever kind of a strength you have. So martial, that's the another creed. And then we have the last one introduced in the book, which is underground. And that is, of course, as you can probably see from the mood board already, using in your hand, in order to find and eventually kill the monster, you are using subterfuge, you're using your streetwise contacts on the streets. You are coming from a little bit more of a shady background. Maybe you were a drug dealer, maybe you had friends on the streets, maybe you have a group of hooligans that you hang out with, and there is something in your neighborhood. You've noticed something that wasn't very didn't look very, natural. It was a little bit of a supernatural thing, and also didn't look very pleasant, and might be a danger to you, your neighborhood, your family, your friends. So you are employing the tactics which you know from the streets in order to fight that monster. So underground is for those who want to play a little bit more of a, low-key hunter, that maybe try to use either espionage, or just some, contacts, or not going exactly heads-on onto a monster like a martial hunter would, but trying to approach it with more subterfuge and with more street smarts, basically. So these are the creeds that are introduced in Hunter the Reckoning book, but of course they are not the only ways in which you can play Hunter. I was trying to imagine a lot of different Hunter characters, and all of them in some way worked with these creeds. So it's kind of hard to find something that goes beyond these creeds, because there's always something that kind of fits. But if you want to come up with your own ones, this is way more loose than vampire clans are or werewolf tribes are. This is basically a way that your hunter approaches the hunt, and as much as these 5 are completely enough to describe plenty of hunters, or possibly the most of them, if you have another idea in order to how to make your hunter work in the game, you can do it using the same layout that the Hunter book uses. And I'm going to go back to the previous slide to give you a rundown of that. So each creed in Hunter the Reckoning book comes with these, basically. Archetypes. Of course, you know archetypes from Vampire the Masquerade book. Archetypes are what suggests to players what kind of characters you can play. So each creed comes with archetypes that give you example characters that you may use within these creeds. Then you have suggested edges. Edges, we do talk about them a little bit in the dev blog, which you can check out on worddarkness.com. Edges are the tools, the exact tools which you employ during your hunts. So they may be tools like arsenal, maybe like being able to sense the unnatural, maybe you are the beast whisperer, so you may actually not talk to animals, but maybe you have some special connection with the animals which can be supernatural or can be trained. So all of these edges are the exact tools that work with your creed in order to be employed during the hunt. So each of the creeds come with the suggestions suggested edges. They also go with the common drives. So what are the very common drives that particular creed employs and goes with? This could be, for example, curiosity as the edge for inquisitive, or atonement or vengeance for faithful. So there are plenty of drives that, of course, awaken inside of the hunter, and that's what makes the hunter your drive to kill the monster for a particular reason. And these creeds have very common reasons that are very usually employed. So, for example, it can be envy for the entrepreneurial. There are plenty of these. So you can use the common ones. You can also go for something completely different. I think it will be pretty fun to have a faithful hunter that has a curiosity as a drive. Like, you're faithful, yes, you do believe this higher power, but there's something else out there and you're super curious to find out what. Then you have desperation dice fields, so particular dice fields in which the desperation hits in Hunter the Reckoning. So, for example, for Martial, that would be physical contact with the supernatural. For Inquisitive, that would be getting information about the supernatural during the hunt. And then you also have personality of the creed, tactics of the creed, and dangers. So each creed has these mentioned. If you want to come up with a different one in your game, it's all fine. It's good to think about all of these parts. So archetypes, suggested edges, common drives, desperation dice fields, personality, tactics, and dangers. The last three ones are the most important, I think. What is exactly the personality of this creed? What are the tactics this creed employs? And what are the dangers? So, right after the stream, if you're watching us live, we're going to have a blog post from Justin Achille on worldofdarkness.com, which is going to give you more of a rundown of these with the links to the mood boards as well. So you will see them as you read about the particular creeds. And you can also, of course, check out the previous previews in order to get to know more about things like desperation and edges and more, and drive, of course. But I hope that this little rundown was helpful for you in order to get to know what exactly creeds are. And dangers, dangers are a very important part of each of the archetype, because each archetype comes with its own dangers. Of course, if you are a martial hunter, you can probably understand that there are big dangers in front of you as you are going to go hand in hand with a monster that may be much stronger than you and might be very much looking at you as your first target, right? But there are also different dangers for the faithful, entrepreneurial, and underground hunters as well. So it's pretty interesting. 100 Reckoning PDF is dropping next Wednesday on June 8th. So if you want to grab it then. But do check out the Hunter preview PDFs, which are available on Renegade's shop right now. So you can download them for free and read more about that. And I do invite you very much to check out the Creeds blog on World of Darkness. Thank you so much for listening to me about the creeds. We're going to have a little video break right now that is going to talk about a completely different topic, so my voice can have a little rest, and we're going to go back to more news after.
Favorite locations in the game. We're now standing next to the riverbank, and you can see that they really did a great job with this location, because when you play the game you immediately recognize it. We have the Czech Bridge over here, we have the Prague Castle behind me. Next to the Prague Castle you can also see the Petřín Tower, and of course here we have the Law Faculty, and right next to it we even have the two Brutalist hotels. But of course in reality they're called differently. This hotel is called Intercontinental, or was, because actually now it's going to be called a little bit differently. They're reconstructing it, but in the game it's the Crown. And when we go down this way, we will also find another location featured in the game. It's going to be the church next to the Hospital of Francis.
You can watch the full video on Bloodhunt's Twitter if you want to. It's actually much longer. It's over 8 minutes long, so do check it out there. And I really love it. I love to see how the cities are being transformed into World of Darkness cities within the video games like Bloodhunt. And Prague looks really like Prague. I've been to Prague a few times, and I remember first time I dropped on the map in Bloodhunt, I was really just going around and checking how similar it is to what I remember. It was very similar. But now it's time to talk a little bit about the family-wide celebrations of Pride. We do, as every year, have great celebrations with By Night Studios, who have opened a Pride merch that is available for you right now, together with the Bat logo, which was requested a lot by folks who wanted to buy the LGBTQ t-shirts with their own flag and the Sabat logo and the Sabat symbol. So that is right now available on By Night Studios. You may also check their blog for more Pride activities this month. And I also want to very much invite you to What Latino America, if you are from the community, to check out the Pride celebrations that Alessa is organizing, because there's going to be plenty of things happening there during the month as well. And as usual, I invite you to Discord, discord.gg/World of Darkness, where we have a year-long party going on in Pride, the Chattening channel that has a lot of very friendly family members that are waiting there with memes and with positivity and with all the good vibes. So I invite you there. There are a lot of community Chronicles sessions going on this month that are specifically aimed for charities around Pride, and we're going to highlight as many of them as we can. Do please tag us when you are planning any Chronicle or announcing any Chronicle, or maybe actual play, just a shot, one shot, or any Pride activity in the Vampire the Masquerade, or maybe Hunter the Reckoning. Please do tag us on Twitter or Instagram, and we'll hope to feature more of you here during the Pride, because there's a lot of really fun stuff going on. And without further ado, I'm going to jump into the call with Hadi and see if she's awaiting me to show me what the community is up to. Hello, Hadi, can you hear me? Yes, and now everyone can hear you as well. Let me jump very quickly to Vamily Spotlight, and hello! Now we can see you.
Awesome.
We have the same background.
Oh, do we really?
Yes, that's awesome. I love
I
it.
see now.
We should keep it. It's beautiful.
I'm keeping it. You change yours.
No, I'm keeping it, and we're both keeping it because it's. I actually have the same one on my wallpaper right now because it's such a good shot.
So do I.
I know. Oh my god.
Oh no, we're spending too much time together.
I know. We gotta stop. Oh wait, why is my oh no. Great, my Spotify just decided to play Ghost because I I pushed the volume up on my keyboard. It's fine, just had 1 second of Ghost. All right, let's go to...
I can mute it for the YouTube, it's fine.
Yeah, we'll mute it for the YouTube, it's fine. All right, so what is going on in the family this week?
Well, as you can see, increasingly, I guess maybe because summer is coming and there's more time to do things, the family is just increasing their output of creativity, and it's almost difficult to keep up with, but I'm loving every second of it because look at how much stuff.
Oh, just very quickly wanted to quote Elise here in the chat, and they are saying, we are also doing a testimonial all Pride month long from various By Night Studios members about how the World of Darkness can be a beacon of light for the LGBTQ members. Thank you so much, Alice, for letting us know about that as well. That is going to happen on By Night Studios blog if you're interested. Just going to drop that info very quickly. Mm-hmm. All right, and back to RP.
Okay, so the very first thing we have, of course, is something I love, and I honestly, we don't see enough of, is Banu Hakim art. Yes. So this is our panda art with a commission for a DC by Night Chronicle, and the name of this character is Barat Ayedin, and I'm sure I'm saying that incorrectly, of Clan Banu Hakim.
You said panda art and I said RP, and now I feel very ashamed, but this is beautiful. And
well, it could be either. It could be RP and art.
There's so much love for Banu Hakim going on in the family for the last year. Like I see it growing and growing. I think people, because I was one of these players first that also didn't really grasp Banu Hakim that easily on the first read.
Same.
But now that I do see that a lot of people have the same kind of a change in them, and they embrace Banu Hakim, which is awesome. I love this clan now.
When someone explained it to me like a sort of like a Batman type figure with fangs, it then started to fall into place a lot easier for me to be able to figure it out.
Yeah, it's funny, but Batman is literally the easiest explanation for Banu Hakim, which works. It really works.
It does.
All right, so what about Annoyed Owl 01?
And another thing we don't see enough of, in my opinion, is Hekata art.
Yes.
Absolutely, I love the Hekata. I love the clans of death. So we have a watercolor, which you'll have to tell me if that is like a very difficult medium to use, because I don't know, by Cora Lynn.
It is, difficult. For me, all traditional styles are difficult because you cannot have Control Z. You cannot, go backwards. So you cannot erase a watercolor. So once you place something on the paper, it's there forever.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so you cannot cut and paste. And yeah, it's beautiful. It's a great job, and I love the usage of the classical Hekata symbol. It looks so good.
And by the way, I keep saying it, I'm absolutely loving the amount of stuff I'm finding from Reddit. Reddit is really coming a place where people are sharing their art there, which just a few years ago, in my opinion, wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
So definitely you can check out the r/VTM and other World of Darkness type subs, and lots of people are sharing their art, and it's pretty cool.
I might go back to Reddit to check out stuff, because I haven't been checking it for a while. That's awesome. What about Batgo Arts?
Yeah, just a lone salubri.
Just a lone salubri. Oh, c'est la vie.
I've never seen like a cheerful. I mean, I think the last salubri art we had was someone who was literally a salubri who was like had the worst night of their lives and ended up in a trash heap and all sorts of horror. I mean, I haven't seen like a cheerful salubri, and it just makes me sad.
And the thing is, yeah, we don't get a lot of cheerful salubri, but in general, like, I understand, because I also play a very sad salubri. I am looking forward to see Chad salubris. That's something that we're lacking.
Oh,
because all salubri kind of have this, very like sap energy.
Just having this idea of like a frat guy being embraced by the salubri clan, like by accident, because it just doesn't seem like a likely thing.
The characters from Hotel La Sombra.
Quick, someone write that down.
Write it down. The characters from Hotel La Sombra, the game that we had in the game jam, that was just frat boys. La Sombros. Yeah, just like one of them being salubri, that would be such a good idea. Salubros. A coterie of salubros. I am looking forward to see that chronicle.
I love that.
Oh, check out Zoe.
Beauty Zoe. Yes.
Oh, wow.
This is by terrible eyesight, Eugenia Dreamsea. And of course, it's my favorite type of Nosferatu. It's got the balding, the ears, the elongated sort of rat-like teeth.
Yeah.
My favorite. Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It is a pointy ear, like almost bald Nosferatu, but I appreciate the almost bald part. This is great. And I love them. They're so cute, and I love the sneakers and the whole style.
The heart socks were my favorite.
It's so great. Also, Alexander Ward is here in the chat, and after talking about the frat boy salubri, he said, "I feel that that's a challenge." So
it's a challenge I'm ready to take on.
I'm just for sure. Please, let's do it.
Well, salubri by itself, I feel like is VTM on hard mode. So then make them a salubro.
Yeah.
I don't even get harder than that.
No, that might be actually, I mean, depending on how you play it.
That's like ranked.
That's so cool. Also, I just, saw this photo with the side of my eye, and this is so good. Unartig Design.
Unartig Design, yeah. How do you like me with a bald head? This is from the Babylon Rot, which is just German for red, as in Rotschreck. So Club Babylon LARP is a LARP in Cologne. And I did reach out to them, and they are very, very lovely people, have very active LARP, completely full and booked up for the summer.
Yeah.
And this is one of their players who was playing a Nosferatu.
Wow, now I feel like for one of the upcoming LARPs, I need to do a bald cap, because this looks so cool.
Yeah. They even credited the person who helped them with their bald cap, so obviously it's a challenge.
Yeah, so you cannot do it alone apparently, but it looks so good, and I love the decal on the face and the jewelry. It's so
it's
good.
really good. But I thought what you would like the most is the name of the character, if you didn't notice it.
The name is Overthrow. I like it.
Nosferatu hacker and fashion designer.
I like it.
Yeah.
I totally embrace Nosferatu fashion designers. It's like one of the best archetypes. All right. What about the creature of chaos?
You can read that. This is for you in particular.
She's got 0 in appearance to you. I'm a monster fucker though.
And this could explain every TikTok that we've ever made.
It
for
does.
The VTM channel.
It does actually, yeah. But honestly, like we keep on repeating this like so much that it might get boring by now. But Nosferatu are the most romanceable characters, and we're not making the rules
every single week. And I'm sorry, it rings truer every week. So
that's true. Also, it's lovely. I love reading this chaotic posts on Tumblr. Like someone just writes a sentence, which they probably like wake up 2 weeks later and they're like, "Oh my god, I really wrote
Why did I write this?" I've seen VTM posts that are just like really rambly and long, and then like the hashtags are like, "I'm drunk, someone stop me. Someone take my computer away."
Hashtag, I hope my storyteller sees this. I love this. Yeah. Oh, what's going on TikTok? What's going on here? Should we like?
You have to. I know they changed it because of the shorts.
Okay, there we go. I'm going to check it out. This is a really good cosplay.
It's very, very short, but it's an excellent cosplay of Sophie Langley from Coteries of New York.
You may remember Sophie from the cover art of Coteries of New York, and also beautiful character and a really good cosplay. I love the transition. Just in general, I'm a sucker for transition TikToks. I know it's a simple thing, but it just always gets me every single time.
Yeah. Alex is asking for us to explain those TikToks. There's no way.
No, not
Can't
the presence. No. It just Alex, you can just go there and read some comments.
Just read the comments.
Just to give you like a general grasp of the situation, but for your own sanity, I would advise
maybe not.
Just let us deal with the chaos, okay? We'll deal with the chaos for you. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Also, congratulations to Hadi, who is really holding our TikTok channel just, up to higher and higher standards, but getting more clips from actual play shows there and hitting 80K followers, I guess. That's how
followers,
we call it. Yeah. So 80K, that's great. Our VTM TikTok is really growing and it's awesome.
I'll keep posting videos of Carver and Jasper, and we're good to go.
And more characters as the new chronicle unfolds soon. TM. All right.
Soon TM.
Okay. So what about Freakcore?
Freakcore. We've featured Freakcore quite a few times now in the Vamily Spotlight and on the Instagram, because they are just churning out these absolutely amazing pieces of art, and particularly this one I thought you would enjoy because this is a ministry art.
Nice.
The tempter or the tempted who sins most, beautiful yet complex.
That is true. I also love the snake, which on my first glance, I thought this could be a very untypical fan art of Ming Xiao, just because Ming Xiao had a very similar silver thing on her hand. And I was actually thinking recently, if I ever was to make a mod that makes like original bloodlines into like V5, like if anyone would ever do that, I think Ming Xiao would be ministry, honestly.
Oh, sure.
She's
for sure.
Such a minister. Like she's I totally trusted her in the first try.
Did you really?
Yes, I know. She was very hot, and I fall for it easily. Never mind. Okay.
Playing Bloodlines for the first time, I was like, I literally can't trust anyone but myself, can I?
I was like, Ming Xiao is so cool. Anyway, no spoilers for those of you who haven't played the game, but yeah, she would be minister, definitely. All right, vampires doing important vampire things from Shane.
And this is a Malkavian and a Nosferatu just hanging out. I definitely get sort of like Jasper and X vibes from LA by Night, just hanging out, playing the And
Yeah,
I can't remember what they're called in English anymore.
I remember these
What those things are
characters.
called.
I think Shade has more
They have
characters
full-on
in them.
comics of these characters, yes.
They are gorgeous. I love them, and I also love how the Nosferatu seems to have a cap with CUCC.
Yes. Yes.
SUCC.
Yep. That character's name is Bug, and they usually have that cap on.
I love it. It's beautiful. Also, it is very important, okay? Like you have to somehow like anchor yourself to humanity, of course, with your touchstones, but also with the activities you do. So maybe something you really like doing when you are a human. Love it.
Mhm.
What's up with Patricia Garlov?
Patricia Garlow. So this is a bit of a long description, but it's been a year since they posted anything, and they've started to getting back into LARP, and they've started playing 5th edition Vampire the Masquerade mostly online.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an original piece based off of one of their favorite artists. And unfortunately, you know me, I don't know much about art.
Alphonse Mucha. He's he's awesome.
But it's depicting a less than polite Bruja. And at first, when I looked at it, for some reason, I was like, "Where is the?" I mean, I can sort of like guess the Bruja from it, just from the upside down flipping someone off. But I didn't even notice the symbol all on the top for some reason.
Yeah, I just noticed it right now because it was so well embedded. You're right.
Yeah.
This is so nice. Alphonse Mucha makes this. I don't remember how the style is called. Is it like Art Nouveau or something like this?
Art Nouveau.
I think so. They're very like the Kiss is his like most famous painting, which also is super Vampire the Masquerade. When you have like this one person kissing another, and there's like tons of like this colorful golden glitter around. Like Alphonse Mucha was always super vampire for me.
I live in Europe now. I should really go to some of the museums and stuff.
Yes, so he has a very big museum in Prague because he's actually from Czech Republic, and
okay.
the museum is beautiful. But I do think that his works are also elsewhere in Europe. But Czechia has the biggest collection, so I really recommend it. All right, it's beautiful. I love it. It's great. So what about Mads? Oh, look at this.
Yeah, as someone out there is like me and needs lesbian flag Julia Savinsky from Vampire the Masquerade Shadows of New York this June. So here, I made one because she deserves it. And that's true.
I feel like she would, for this one day in the year, she would dress in these colors, and then she would destroy all the pictures that would possibly, I mean, maybe not pictures because she's a sombra, but if anyone would draw her in these colors, she would just like tear all of these images apart.
Yes.
As she never wore them, but for this one day, she would dress in these colors.
Yes.
It's beautiful. We have so many really awesome characters that can be celebrated throughout Prague. If you are throughout Pride, not Prague. I'm just thinking about Prague right now.
Well, Prague and Pride.
The Prague Pride.
Bloodhunt characters.
Yes, Bloodhunt characters, of course. But if you are playing Swansong, you probably know who I mean as well. Because Swansong also has really cool LGBTQ characters. Mm-hmm. All right, what about Mr. Jolly Yellow Nerd Talk?
You should check it out and see what it is.
Yeah. Tell me which Vampire the Masquerade clan you play without telling me which Vampire the Masquerade clan you play.
I give everyone one free pass when it comes to flea jugs, and you just use yours.
Tell me which Vampire the Masquerade. That's awesome. The gangrel. It's also super uncanny to see yourself on the screen, but I suffered through it.
You did it great.
Thank you. This is one of my first TikToks I've ever posted, and I made a super horrible mistake of saying hey in the beginning. You cannot say that on TikTok because then it cuts the question. So most people who answered this question have it cut in half because I'm an idiot. So yeah.
You just, with TikTok, it's just gonna be, you just gotta jump right in with whatever it is that you want to say.
You cannot say hello. You cannot say hello, everyone. No, you just gotta jump
we're
in.
the YouTube generation, so that's what we're used to.
I'm a millennial. I'm a YouTube millennial, so that's why. Okay, Martlet Games. Oh yeah, I was actually going to retweet that with Warnaka's account in like some time, but do tell us about it.
Okay, so at June 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, join storyteller Rose Bulbasaur as she takes Elise Hawes, M. Changeling, Twisted Werewolf, Yepit Zack, Critical K, and Darth Generico through wonderfully queer Vampire the Masquerade one-shot set during a Pride Parade in Vancouver. I hope I said everybody's names correctly.
Look at those awesome people. I am definitely going to either try to tune in, or if it's going to be too late, then watch the VOD, because that sounds super cool. And the team seems to be awesome.
That's 7 p.m. for us.
7 p.m. Oh, okay, so that's doable. Great. I'll definitely retweet it from the main Word Duckers account. So if you're going to look for it later on, it's going to be available on our account as well. Okay, what about the Storyteller's Vault this week? What do we have?
So this week we have, so of course, one of the most popular things on Storyteller's Vault is the playing the Sabbat the Black Hand.
Yep.
But Khaldun Khalil and a bunch of other people who contributed to that. And this is a particular Sabbat scenario from Steffi Devan.
Yeah.
And this is particularly about expanding on, I believe, the path of Lilith, which is mentioned in the V5, but
Bahari as well.
Yeah, the Bahari, yes. And I just thought this opening here was very beautiful. There were no more secrets to shield them, no rock left unturned, no tree left unburnt. The land bent to our will and had given them up, which is gorgeous. And the scenario takes place in Montreal, which, has a significance to the Sabbat. So
it was one of my
very cool.
Yeah, it was one of my favorite parts of the V5 Sabbat book, the Path of Lilith and the disciplines added to it. I think they're so creepy. And I wonder if this book has even more. I think it does, right? Bahari focus scenario, Secrets of Fallen Montreal, New Lorches, Rite, and Antagonist. There we go. So I wonder if it has more than this, because the V5 book originally had super creepy stuff for Path of Lilith, and if this expands on it, I am interested.
Yeah, it also collaborates with another Storyteller Vaults book, which is the Unbound, the Talmei Ra. So.
Nice.
Unbound.
Yes, so there's a plenty of really cool V5 Sabbat content for those of you who want expansions from the original book. As you probably know, V5 design and how it is built is basically not allowing the protagonist Sabbats. So we are not exploring them in the book, but we are definitely embracing the fact that people are going to make the Storyteller's Vault stories books about that in particular. So there's a plenty of different authors having their takes on that on STV. So if you want to check out various ones, I recommend reading the descriptions because all of them differ in a way. They also have reviews. I think Khaldun's books have written reviews as well as the numeric ones. Yes, so you can definitely read what the book is about in them and check out if this is something for you, because it can expand. If you want to explore more Sabbat in your chronicles, then this is definitely a way to go. Awesome. All right. So what do we have here for LA by Night? Oh.
So this particular TikTok sums up everything that we were just talking about earlier about the thirst talks.
Yes. All right. Let's check it out.
It's very short.
Yeah.
Hey, baby doll. Hey, baby doll.
So simple. It's so good.
And to be fair, many of the things that we get tagged in are people duetting, literally just watching the thirst traps and just having a positive reaction to it. Let's put it that way.
I'm crying. Oh yeah, I mean, this is too relatable. This is what I do when I watch actual plays as well. So I feel it. I feel it in my bones. And look at this Jasper.
Yeah, this is I believe a sketch, very soft. It's just framed Enika of Jasper. It's a very I don't know how to describe it, soft.
Yes. Alex Ward is here in the chat. Alex, are you giving thumbs up for this portrait from framed Enika? It's beautiful. I love the usage of the red crayon on the top. Yay, we get the okay from Alex. Thumbs up. Awesome. It's really, really great. And I love seeing more and more fan art for Elbanate coming, even though, the Chronicle has happened a while ago, and it's, it still brings so much more fan art and love.
No, I could literally fill the board with just Tumblr hot takes about LA by Night.
Yeah, that's true. What about Veronica Vu?
So this is a person who has shared this art previously back a couple of years ago, but this is their 3rd year anniversary of having discovered LA by Night.
Yeah.
So they decided to reshare this particular, and it's so beautiful. I've never seen it before myself because I wasn't super into the community just around that time period.
Yes.
And it says ministry on it, which I think is a nice reference to a season 1 episode where they do meet a member of the ministry, Miranda.
Yeah, that's true. I really like the colors and the soft brushes and everything that they used in here. It looks really nice. Beautiful.
And I don't think Annabelle ever used a bat in 5 seasons.
No,
That's a shame.
but she should. I think she definitely should. We should have like some behind the scenes episodes with like more. And a tweet from Nora. I read that.
You could, yeah, I think you've read this before, but you could go ahead and read it.
Just here to say you're unbelievably awesome and to vote for Ip as La Sombra Prince of LA. And Nora replied, I mean, maybe someone reads this and makes a note. I mean, I guess LA might be looking for a new prince. So, as well.
I would like a canonical La Sombra Prince. That would make me very happy.
That'd be pretty good, right? All right, and the last section, Bloodhunt / Swan Song. So many beautiful things here. I just saw them beforehand. I was like, wow. So yeah, do tell us, what do we have here?
Okay, well, first up on the left, we have Raquel Kogarashi. I finally got to debut my Bloodhunt cosplay at I'm not sure how to say that right.
Kodachi-con.
Kodachi-con. It was so amazing to finally be able to go to a con after 2 whole ass years and meet my wonderful friends again. And it's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, and it is
absolutely stunning.
And I see already on the, because one of my favorite parts of this outfit is the kind of like a lace back. On this, because I saw this outfit in the game. I haven't bought it yet, but I'm actually thinking about buying it because it's so gorgeous.
Really?
But the thing is, like, I have so many outfits for Toreadors already that I'm looking for something more for Nosferatu maybe. But the back of this one is just so beautiful, and it's like I see that it's actually like done here as well. I'm just going to zoom in so to have it visible. It's beautiful, so gorgeous. And then we have Lana Rafe. Aww.
Yep, you can call me Alicia. And it's in, I didn't even know it was in, as a teenager, one of my favorite games was Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. The clan that spoke to me the most was Malkavian, and I love this clan the most today. Of course, I'm not good at doing direct translations. Of course, I had to immediately do a cosplay test of Laisha.
That's great, and it works so well.
I just saw the top part. You could call me Laisha. I didn't even see it was in German. I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. It's beautiful. It's so well done, and I love for Laisha in general, because Laisha is, she's been through a lot. So to see how people are embracing her as a character and liking her is just, it warms my heart. She deserves it.
Yeah, after finishing Swan Song, Laisha, absolutely my favorite character of the
right? Three. Yeah, it's like her whole storyline is great. No spoilers though. Don't worry,
nope.
I'm not going to spoil.
Just saying.
Yes. Let's go to a Bloodhunt game posting the cosplayer. Yes.
Yep, Tinkery Cosplay. I did go on their page to see if I could find the original, but I think this was just for Bloodhunt.
Yep.
So, and this is of course a cosplay of Maya, the Toreador Primogen from Bloodhunt.
Yes, that you could also see in the one of the original trailers, the cinematic trailer, where she was attacking the Inquisition. I love the jacket. The coat that she has on has this reflective material in the game as well. And you can see it here too. It's so good. Pretty. All right. And fan art of the Enforcer. Wow. Nice.
It's very simple, and I just thought, like, that's great.
Chizukeki made the fan art of the Venture in-game, which again is very much on point. The tattoo, the glasses, the earrings, and the outfit is exactly as you see it in the game, including the black gloves. So everything is just as you can customize your Venture in the game. It's beautiful. I love making hot characters in this game and just like being...
Yeah, you've definitely done that for every archetype.
Yes.
For sure.
Recently I've made a Nosferatu that looks like a Toreador, and I was so proud of myself. And then I realized in game that he looks exactly like David Bowie. Like, I'm not even kidding. It's just like one-to-one David Bowie.
Super hot.
All right. What about Katie the Thief? Stuck in the loop.
That's for you.
Stuck in the loop of, okay, just one more match. Yes, I totally get it. Absolutely. Also for everyone, I joined the Inner Circle recently for Bloodhunt, because I'm streaming Bloodhunt on my own channel. And that means you can too, if you're streaming or making YouTube content or TikTok content of Bloodhunt, you can join the Inner Circle on bloodhunt.com. You can check out the content creator program, and there are different tiers. So even if you don't have a lot of viewers, even if you're just starting, you can still join. There's like the lowest tier, I think, is like 20 viewers or something like that. So starting from that, you can join, and there are different things that you can get from each perk. Do come to our family of the Inner Circle, because there are cool things happening and more to come. All right, what about Laisha?
I did share this with you and Jason, so you have seen it already, but I think it's really
Yes.
cool and everyone should see it.
You're going to forget all the moments in your sad, pitiful life where you felt loved.
But
You have no memory that you ever felt love at any point in your life. Nobody loves you. Everyone hates you, despise you. They mock you. You've never loved yourself.
it's horrible. It's horrible.
Yes, it's horrible. And now it's your life.
Wow. So I'm not going to talk in detail about the scene in the game because spoilers, but of course dementation, Malkavian dementation. That's how it works, and it's lovely. I love
And if you didn't get to that in your game and you want to see the scene, it is on our TikTok channel. It's where the sound is from.
Yes. So if you want to see it, maybe you led your Leisha differently, something that you don't have to do in the game. But if you want to see the scene, it's on TikTok. So yeah. And the beautiful MM for the last part of today's Vamily Spotlight. Oh, so gorgeous.
And Leisha will be coming soon, so can't wait to see that next week.
So do follow Blighted Elf for more fan arts of Swansong. MM right now and Leisha up next. It's beautiful. And also art commission info and coffee in the bio of Blighted Elf Instagram. So if you want to support the fellow artists, do check. That's so cool. Thank you so much, Hadi. That was awesome.
Thank you.
All right. I will be seeing you next week. And in the meantime, I will be going to the FAQ section as usual. So see you and bye-bye.
Bye.
And that was all for this week's Word Darkness news. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching me live on Twitch right now, do wait for the FAQ section at the very end, as usual, answering your questions live from the chat. If you're watching us on YouTube, well, you can check out the Hunters, Creed, and Edges dev blog on wordofdarkness.com. You can download the preview of Hunter about werewolves from Renegade. And yeah, I hope that you are going to check out Hunter PDF next week on the 8th and let us know what you think. I will see you on next Thursday and see you later. Bye.